Hi guys, I'm Chris O'Neill, and today we're going to learn the basics of music theory. What is music theory? It's how music works, and I'm gonna try my best and show you how to do it.
That's shit.
Anyways, I'm gonna dumb it down as best I can. Maybe you'll learn something.
Let us begin.
I'm going to be using a piano as I feel it is the best way to visualize musical notes.
Okay, so what we're looking at are keys on a piano. Each key plays a note. Wow! Yeah, I know. Now I know, there's a lot of keys and it's very confusing. What keys play what notes? What is a note? You just shut the fuck up and just look for a second. All you gotta worry about are 12 notes. Look, all the piano really is, all music really is, are 12 notes. Or semitones if you want to be a nerd. So, all these notes here are just the same notes repeating in order. See the way there's 3 black keys here? They're the same as those 3 black keys here, except these guys sound lower. So this note here is the same as this note here. So, and another example, this note before the 2 chopsticks, that's C. It's the same as here. And down here too. They're just the same 12 notes repeating, just in higher or lower pitches consisting of the 12 notes called octaves. See this note here? That's F. F higher, and all the way up till the end of the piano. So, an octave consists of 12 notes. Easy. Let's go through the notes, shall we? First, let's look at the white keys, because they are obviously superior. But no, seriously, here are the white keys. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A again. So A to G. Now let's take a look at the big black that we skipped over earlier. These guys are called sharp notes. A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. You notice B's and E's don't have sharps. Why, you ask? How the fuck should I know? That's just how it is. Remember kids, bitch elephants don't have sharps. So how do you know what note is on what key? Well, here's how Mozart, the most farter, did it. See the way there's 2 black notes dangling down? Like 2 sagging black man testes? Right before those is C. So by now you know the white note after C is D, and the one after that is E, and etc. Same the other way. The white key before C is B, and before that is A, and blah blah blah, you get it. Most people just use that as a beginning guideline. So when you're done learning what white notes are which, figuring out sharps is really easy, because when a black note is to the right of a note, it's sharp of that note. So it's like C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, E, Z. And see how B and E don't have the black notes? Technically their sharps are the white notes to the right, so B sharp is really just C, and E sharp is really just F. Just think of them as not having sharps for now, it's easier. Again, bitch elephants don't have sharps. So yeah, a sharp is just a note to the right of another. You may have heard the term sharps and flats before. While a sharp is the black note to the right of a note, a flat note is just a note to the left. So just forget flats for now, they're pieces of shit. So that's notes. Try and learn what notes go on what keys as soon as you can. It'll make learning music theory much easier. Now let's go through chords. A chord is basically when you throw some notes together and it sounds good. Okay, to get my point across, I'm going to play 3 notes individually. Now all together. As you can hear, the first one was kind of happy, the second one was kind of sad. So chords are just notes all playing at the same time and sounding good doing it. The tricky part is knowing what notes complement each other and what chords complement each other when writing a song. I'm going to show you the easiest way to remember how to play chords. So now listen, here's the easiest way to remember how to play a chord for a specific note. First, play the note you want the chord to be in. So if you want, say, C, play it. Now, go up 7 notes from C and play it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you'll have a basic chord. It's not a major or minor yet, so let's do another quick example. Just say if you want to play a chord of A, do the same thing. Start with your finger on A, move up 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you'll have a basic chord of A. Now let's get musical. If we want to make this a major chord, oh fuck, go up 4 notes from the first. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to make it a minor, move the middle finger down one. Major, minor, major, minor, major, minor, major, minor. Try to notice the pattern of the keys when you're pushing them down. So it's usually, there's some exceptions, but it's usually like push one down, skip one, push them down, skip one, push them down. That's usually the shape that your hands will take. So like if you wanted to play that on the black keys or whatever, it's still the same shape. Wherever you go, you just gotta make sure you move your fingers just a little bit, and you get used to doing that the more you practice chords. You can play most songs with just major and minor chords. There are lots of variations of chords, but the ones I usually find myself using are major, minor, suspended second, or suspended fourth. Suspended second is when you start with a basic chord and move up 1, 2. And that goes good when you play that in sequence with, say, like a major or a minor. So, or suspended fourth is when you move down 2 from the last note. So if I'm doing C still, I go down 1, 2. So it's like, that sounds really good with this. So that's just an example. Just a recap, major sounds like this, minor sounds like this, suspended second sounds like this, suspended fourth sounds like this. Yeah! You can also do variations of chords. Like if you want to make a chord sound a little different but have it be the exact same music-wise, you can do this. Here's C. This C is pretty much the exact same if I take my finger off this note here and play that note down here. So you can experiment by taking different fingers off different notes and putting them on higher or lower octaves. Blah, blah, blah. Let's move on. We'll go over what chords sound good together in a future episode. For now, I just look up some songs you like and Google what chords they use. After learning a few songs, you'll get a better understanding of how songs are structured. Now that we've covered chords, let's quickly go over melodies. This part is tricky. If you want to write your own music and make it catchy as all heck, you're going to have to learn scales. What is a scale? It's basically a string of notes that climb in sequence and give you an idea of what notes you should be using within a specific chord. You use scales to help write your leads or melodies. Pretty much the same thing. Until you can just do it out of your head. So look, if I play the chord of C major, let's imagine I'm pushing down all of the C major notes on the piano. So it's like... So there's all the C major notes highlighted. So... these are all the C major notes. Now I'm going to play the scale of C major and you'll probably start singing along. Do, re, mi, fa, yeah, you get it. So that's the scale of C major. Notice how the notes I play generally stick to the same keys as the chord we play them. So the scale of C major is pretty much made for the chord of C major. So that's the scale of C major. So here's D major. I'm going to highlight all the notes for D major, and then we're going to play the scales over it. They all stuck to the same notes again. See? There's a few notes added in here and there, as you saw, but you got to learn where to put those extra notes when you learn scales. You just got to do it. I can't do that for you. So once again, here's C major. Now we're going to change this to a C minor scale. So we changed 2 of the notes here to change the major scale into a minor scale. This guy and this guy. So instead of this, it's this. The E became an E flat. That's why those flats are there. Now you get it. It's just to make learning scales easier. Again, there's lots of scales, so just Google that shit. So look, if this is the chord of C and these are the notes we play in the scale of C major, you can hit pretty much any one of these notes and it should sound fine. So this is how people that are new to music write melodies. So let's say we got a chord of C. All these white notes, all of these are in the C major scale. So you can pretty much go... So basically, it's really easy to play in the chord of C major and make up shit. When you're ending the melody, it might depend on what note you're hitting to make it sound nice. So I'm pretty sure most people can hear a melody and hear something wrong with it if there's something wrong with it. So if you're trying to write a melody, kind of use that to your advantage. Just use your hearing. If you do like different combinations, you'll sometimes come across stuff that sounds very weird, like say, just sounds gross. So just try and use your ears and make it sound good. Most people would just end it on the first note or the fifth note of the chord. So if it was to be like, that sounds like the end, or yeah. So now we know the basics of what chords and scales are. You could technically write a very basic song right now if you wanted. It'll more than likely sound like shit because you haven't learned what chords complement each other yet, but I'm confident that if you experimented on a piano, you could create some chord progressions you're happy with, and you could write a melody to go with it using scales. Use your best judgment for now and write what you think sounds good. If something sounds off, try your best to fix it. There's no real rules, just try and make stuff sound good. Okay, so we went through a lot. I'm going to end it here. That's the most basic way of explaining how music works. Later, we'll go more into it and discover amazing things together. Thanks for watching. My fingers hurt.